This movie never stops being funny. Beverly Hills Cop. This is like one of the best Eddie Murphy movies out there. Like nothing will ever be '80s Eddie Murphy. '80s Eddie Murphy will always be the best because I like '90s Eddie Murphy, but in '80s Eddie Murphy, he had the better stand-up, the better movies. He had like the better stuff, like better sitcoms, like Saturday Night Live, everything. Everything. He was like way funnier back in those days. He had that funny ass iconic laugh like he does in this movie. He's like, and he'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like he's like funny as shit. He actually tried, and he actually know how to be funny. The '90s, yeah, he was still funny, but there was times he started like gave up on the whole thing of him being a comedian and stuff like that because he wanted to do more serious roles in the '90s and stuff like that. And also, like, in the 80s, he had original movies to do. He had originals. Then in the 90s, he had, like, more, like, remakes, like Dr. Doodle and Nutty Professor, which, yeah, those movies are good. I'm saying, like, he had more remakes to do than he had to do originals. I mean, Boomerang is an original one, but I'm not really crazy about Boomerang like that. Then afterwards, he fell apart in the 2000s when shitty movies like Norbit and Meet Dave. A lot of people do like Norbit, but it's just not for me. But 80s Eddie Murphy will always be my favorite because he was standout and he had like the best comedy and the best movies and most of them are original. Also, I forgot to mention Coming to America was another original one. Yeah, it's definitely the original one, definitely. But let's just talk about this movie. So, Beverly Hills Cop. So, Eddie Murphy, I think he's like in his mid-20s when he did this movie, I think. And he plays as a detective in Chicago. He was good friends with this one guy. And one day, one of these crooks decides to end up shooting him, killing him. And Eddie Murphy tried to stop him, but he gets knocked out or some shit like that. And all the bad guys went to Beverly Hills. So now he decides to get himself. I think what happened. I think he get himself in trouble with his boss or something like that, so he can go on vacation to go to Beverly Hills to go track these guys down. Well, which he does, and he goes to the place where the bad guys' company is in the Beverly Hills. He goes there, and he starts trouble, and then Victor tells his boys to throw him out the window downstairs, and the cops show up, and like they decided to arrest Eddie Murphy's character, Axel Foley, and Axel's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You told me to just throw me out the fucking window?" He's like still like sitting down on the ground, like he's like, "What the fuck happened? Like you guys didn't see me to get thrown out the fucking window?" That's like one of the best parts of the movie. He just tosses him out the window, and he's just laying there on the ground with full glass, and he's just wondering what the fuck happened and why the cops arrested me, and I didn't do a goddamn thing. So they put him in jail, and they take him to the police department. And the two detectives meet him, Billy and Sergeant Taggart. They both meet him, and like Eddie Murphy will start trouble with them, and the sergeant punches him in the stomach, and then the head boss, played by Ronnie Cox, which I really like Ronnie Cox as an actor. But he was like a lot of things, a lot of movies besides this. One, for example, is RoboCop. We play a bad guy. Here, he actually plays a good guy. Here, he plays a lieutenant. And he walks over to John Aston's character, who plays the Sergeant Taggart. He was like, you can't do that. You can't be punching people. And he was like, so, Axel, you want to press charges against him? He was like, well, I'm not pressing charges against him. Well, why the fuck would I do some shit like that? He was like saying. So they don't do that, and they let him go on a warning or something like that. But he's still going to like spy on those people, see where they're going, and this and that. So Sergeant Taggart and Billy decided to go spy on him. Axel meets the Banana Man, played by Damon Wayans. It's so funny when Damon Wayans plays a fruity guy in a fucking in a movie. Besides the movie, in Living Color, he played a fucking fruity guy also, and it's fucking hilarious. It was him and David Alan Grier, and they review movies together. I forgot what the name that those skits are called, but I think I remember when they said "seen it" or yeah, I think that's what they say. They play like two gay guys and they review movies and shit. It's hilarious. And you have the song playing. It's raining men, hallelujah. I love David Wayans, man. He been in so much funny shit. Like my favorite movie of his is Bulletproof with Adam Sandler. That's my favorite movie of his. And like, he was really big in the fucking 90s, man. Like, I don't know what happened to him after the 90s. He just disappeared like all the other famous actors from the 90s. They just disappear. Well, there's some of them was still around, like Eddie Murphy, but his career was kind of shit in the 2000s. I mean, it's not like they like one or two good movies Eddie Murphy had in the 2000s. One of them was at Dr. Dolittle 2. I really like Dr. Dolittle 2, but I heard that one gets a lot of shit for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it was pretty funny watching Eddie Murphy train a big ass grizzly bear how to be a fucking bear. It's fucking hilarious. That's like that's like a really good fucking movie. I don't know why. I did think that shit's really funny. But anyways, let's go back to. I don't think I would count Shrek though. Shrek's a cartoon, but I guess I could maybe count it. But it did really help his career out more because it did make a lot of money. So that's what kept him going more. But anyways, yeah, let's go back to this. Yeah, so yeah, he got thrown out the window, and then Taggart punches him in the stomach. Then the whole banana scene, and Eddie Murphy puts a banana in the tailpipe, and they can't start the car up, and that fucks their whole gas engine and everything, and they can't go anywhere. I kind of laugh like Eddie Murphy right there. I don't know what happened to that laugh he used to have. That's like his iconic laugh in the 80s. After the 80s, like he didn't do that laugh anymore. That was his iconic laugh. He just didn't do it no more after that. I think because he got more mature or more older or something like that. I don't know what. I think that's what it is. I think. Like, he was fucking hilarious in the 80s. He'd be so fucking funny. Then all of a sudden, the 90s came. He was like a lot more mature. He's a lot more like more laid back. I mean, he was still funny, but he wasn't like 80s Eddie Murphy funny. Like 80s Eddie Murphy was like golden. He was fucking golden, man. He was comedy gold, and then all of a sudden he just went to like silver comedy silver he went to. I mean, that's still good. That's still like pretty good still, comedy silver, but he wasn't like comedy gold anymore. Yeah, there's a lot I kind of see this movie. Like the other part where they go to that fucking strip club, and he takes Billy and Taggart there. He has like a big bunch of jokes and shit. And these two guys came in there about to rob the strip club, and Eddie Murphy decides to like make him believe he knows this guy. He goes like, Phil, hey man, it's me, man, how you doing? The guy's like, get the fuck away from me. Fucking Eddie Murphy kicks his ass and grabs a shotgun from him, and you see in the picture he makes that fucking hand sign, the hand gesture, with a goofy smile on his face. Man, I should really buy this fucking movie. I should buy this one as the second one. This shit's a fucking classic, man. It's fucking hilarious. What happened to this Eddie Murphy? I really hope this new fourth one be good like this one, man. Because that third one sucked. The third one was fucking terrible. I don't know why they got fucking that director to direct that movie. That director did like Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray movies. I don't know how he fucked that up with Eddie Murphy, of all people. It's just, that shit was garbage, the third movie. Like, I don't know why the fuck they give it to that guy to direct it for. I don't get that. Yeah, so they're coming out with a fourth one this year. They come out like a Netflix or something like that. I'm like, I don't know if this shit is gonna be fucking good or not. I think it's just called Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley. It should just call it Beverly Hills Cop 4. It would make more sense. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be like great or not. I don't know. Hopefully it'd be like Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 level funny. You know, hopefully it'd be like that. Oh, I hope so. I hope it's not no fucking boring shit. Like the third one, that shit was just fucking terrible. There was like barely any comedy coming out of Eddie Murphy. Like Eddie Murphy in the third one had like no soul at all. He had like no soul in him. That's how bad it fucking was. And then it was like this other part. He was at this like this fancy restaurant. He started borrowing that Victor guy again. Then I think he tossed one of his fucking bodyguards over the fucking table. And that scene right there, if you pause it right there, that does not look like Eddie Murphy. The stuntman who was supposed to be Eddie Murphy while tossing that bodyguard over the table did not look like Eddie Murphy at all. He looked like Richard Pryor was playing the stuntman. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is like the worst. This is like the worst. This is like the worst thing I ever seen directed. Like, why would you find somebody who looks like Richard Pryor instead of Eddie Murphy to be the stuntman? Like, that guy looked nothing like Eddie Murphy. Well, when it cut the part when he tossed the man over the fucking table, it looked like Richard fucking Pryor. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not Eddie Murphy. What's going on here? This ain't Richard Pryor's Beverly Hills Cop. Which, you know, I wouldn't mind that either. That would probably be pretty fucking funny too. Him and that big ass mustache. Richard Pryor's hilarious too. But yeah, like, he's fucking like, it wasn't even him. It's some totally different guy. I never seen in my life. I'm like, that's not Eddie Murphy. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is Richard Pryor doing here? I didn't know he's a stuntman. But anyways, yeah, he tosses the bodyguard over the table. But guess what? I was like, I know who that guy is. It's Mike Ehrmantraut from Breaking Bad. What's he doing here? He had a full set of hair and everything. What the hell happened to his hair? I mean, he lost a lot of hair. And I know he's aware of it too. Which, if you're a Seinfeld fan, you'll get what I mean by that. I'm aware. So yeah, I'm like, Mike Ehrmantraut, shouldn't you work for Gus Fring? What the hell are you doing here working for this Russian guy? What the hell? Yeah, Mike Ehrmantraut. Yeah, this is his earlier days when he worked with different type of people. He used to be a beat cop too. He said, remember that? As we said in Breaking Bad, he was a beat cop. Mike Ehrmantraut. Yeah, Jonathan Banks made like a lot of movies. Besides this, he was also in 48 Hours, which also Eddie Murphy's in that also. Ironically, in 48 Hours, Jonathan Banks was a cop and Eddie Murphy was a convict. Here, Eddie Murphy is the cop and Mike Ehrmantraut's character here is a bad guy. That's what's ironic about it. Jonathan Banks' character is a bad guy here, while Eddie Murphy's character is a good guy here. He's the cop in this one. This movie's like a big switcheroo, even though Eddie Murphy's character in 48 Hours was helping, you know, Nick Nolte solve his case and stuff like that. So there's just a big difference, and it's a funny difference too. Very ironic. Well, anyways, after that whole scene, he goes. There was another part in this movie I think I forgot to mention. It's where he meets this gay guy at his fashion place, and he was like talking to him, and the curly haired blonde woman, and he was like, "Get the fuck out of here, man!" His fucking expressions is so fucking funny. He was like, "Get the fuck out of here, man!" Like everything he does in this movie is just hysterical. Like everything he does, these faces he makes is just funny as fuck. Oh shit, man! Everything he says is so fucking funny. It's like it never stops being funny at all. Then he has somebody else fucking spy on his ass. It's like totally different cops, but he has them tricking their asses too without any problem. And then like later on, Eddie Murphy and Billy find out that the bad guys are smuggling drugs and they kidnap the girl. Then I gotta go to that mansion and have that big old shootout happen. And Taggart decided to try to stop Eddie Murphy from going in there and shooting these people up. But he was like, you know what? Go ahead, try to stop me. I'm still gonna go in there and start kicking some ass. So they all go in there and start kicking ass, shooting guns, taking names, you know. I really like this part of the mansion where they start shooting each other and shit like that and making, you know, funny, hysterical jokes in there and stuff like that. Yeah, and they took the bad guys out, took out Mike's character, Jonathan Banks' character, took his ass out, took out Victor out, killed his ass, and that was the end of the movie. Well, not really the end. There's like this other part where fucking the big boss shows up, And the guy with the big thick glasses, he's like the chief of police or something like that, I think. Or no, the captain. I think he was the captain. He shows up with big ass thick frames, look like Bernie Sanders or something like that. He shows up. He was like talking shit. He was like mad serious and everything. And yeah, all that shit happens, and he tells he makes like a sarcastic remark to Lieutenant. He's like, you know what, I really like it here. You know what? I should really stay here. And he was like, you know what? I'll talk to your boss and I'll fix things up with him, okay? So you can get the fuck out of my hair. So that's the end of that review. Yeah, I really like this fucking movie, man. This movie's a classic. I need to get like a Blu-ray of this fucking movie. I don't know if I should get the second one, but the second one's funny as shit too, like the first one. And the second one is directed by a guy I really like as a director. His name is what's his name? He's related to the guy who did Aliens. I forgot what his fucking name was. I don't want to keep forgetting all people these people's names when I'm tired. I'm trying to remember this guy's fucking name. Shit. Oh well. Fuck it. But he's one of my favorite directors though. He directed the second one. That fucking shitty third one. That shit destroyed the whole franchise. Somehow they try to like make it up to us by making a fucking fourth one. When Eddie Murphy's like in his 60s now. I mean, cops don't retire until they're like 80 years old, so fuck it. Let's do another Beverly Hills Cop movie one more time, I guess. Well, watch one movie one more time. If we're to make another one because it'd be like really popular or something. I wanted to just can't release Beverly Hills Cop 4 in theaters instead of fucking Netflix. These people really think all of us own Netflix? Do they think we all pay for Netflix? No. We don't all pay for fucking Netflix. Release that shit in theaters. We're not gonna go fucking pay for $20 a month for fucking Netflix. Especially that shit. Release that shit in theaters like normal people would do. Like, these people that own these companies are mental. It's like the whole thing with that, what's that movie with, what's his name, Roadhouse, that Roadhouse remake. They decided to just leave it on that fucking Amazon fucking streaming service bullshit instead of just releasing the theaters with Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, why you just release it in theaters? That's like a really popular thing right there. Even though it's a remake, they should have fucking released it in theaters. Don't just to be an asshole and keep it in the streaming service. Like, I mean, I can understand because Jeff Bezos is like a fucking gazillionaire anyways, so I can understand why you want to release it. But people actually want to see the theaters, not sit home on their ass farting and watching on the TV all goddamn day. They want to get out of the house and go see it somewhere else. Fucking clown, bald prick. Well, anyways, what else? Who directed? You know, I forgot who directed this movie. I think his name was Michael Breast, like Titty Milk Breast, or I think that his name was. He also directed like a Robert De Niro movie. I remembered. It was called Midnight Run. It came out in 1988. I still need to really watch that movie. Always want to watch that shit. Then he also directed Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino. I remember the part he goes, "Hooah!" I just never watched that movie either. A lot of people say it was good. Big Joe Black with Anthony Hopkins. You know, I'm not crazy about Anthony Hopkins like that. I don't think he sucks. It's just I'm not crazy about the guy. That big, huge, bald head. His head's like shaped like a melon. But that's like the only 4 movies that are recognizable. Because I don't know this Jiggly. What the fuck is Jiggly? Who the hell is in this movie? Al Pacino. No wait, yeah, Al Pacino. Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez. They're actually 2.6 out of 10. Martin Titty Breast directed a movie that's 2.6 out of 10. Give me a stroke. Are you kidding me with that shit? Stroke my cock. That's fucking terrible. 2.6? I'm kind of curious why it's so fucking horrible. Can somebody tell me why Jiggly? Tell me why Jiggly with Ben Affleck is so terrible. Can somebody tell me why? If any of you guys seen that movie, just tell me in the comments why that shit is so fucking garbage. Just tell me. If you ever watched that movie, Jiggly, just let me know. I want to know why it's so fucking bad. 2.6 out of 10. Oh, I guess I see why that guy hasn't directed any movies anymore after that. Fuck me. He, I do got fucking blacklisted after that movie. I don't see anything else besides Jiggly after 2003. I don't see anything else on his fucking resume here. Fuck. Look at that, like a budget 75 million, box office 7.2 million. Yikes. Yeah, he lost his job after that. He got fired hard after that shit. He got burned in flames. Holy shit. He wrote it and directed it. Yikes. I see why he's not around anymore. God damn. Man, what the fuck that he wrote was so terrible. Is worse than Twilight? It's worse than The Room? Nah, I know. I like The Room. Room's funny as shit. But I really like that fucking Axel Foley's boss in the movie, man. He's funny as shit, too. The black guy. He's funny as fuck. Especially when he gets mad as hell. He's funny as hell, man.